guys, welcome to the best books of May and June. I know it's been a little while since I've done a video, probably about a month or maybe more. Things have continued to be busy. I'll give a little update later. So getting into the best books of May, I didn't post a video on this in May because I just didn't have that many books in May that I really read and enjoyed. There were two of them that I liked. The first one was Service Model by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I don't know if I said that right. I got this on audiobook to review from NetGalley and really enjoyed it. It's about a service robot, basically kind of a butler or manservant to a rich man in the future, who kind of loses his job, I'll just put it that way, and is left at loose ends. He doesn't know what to do. This world is somewhat post-apocalyptic, and he just doesn't know what to do. It's very funny. Really enjoyed it a lot, and yeah, so I really like Service Model. I guess I would say it's more like science fiction about artificial intelligence, apocalypse, that kind of stuff. The second book I read and really enjoyed in May was Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is more of a self-help book, which I don't read a lot of, but this is all about building good habits, and I thought the way this book was written was really well done. It was very entertaining, very easy to read. Each chapter kind of starts with like some historical example of somebody who did something to support this kind of a habit thing, and just a lot of good advice if you're looking to support good habits, on how to get there. It doesn't matter like what type of good habit. It doesn't matter if it's eating better, exercise, or like you want to read more, or you want to play video games more, whatever. It just talks about how to set yourself up for success in doing that. And I actually really enjoyed it and thought it was not only helpful but just entertaining, so really like that. So those were the two books that I read and enjoyed in May. June was a much better month of reading for me. I actually had 6 books that I read and really loved in June. The first one of those is the second book in the Tomes in Tea series by Rebecca Thorne, and that is A Pirate's Life for Tea. This is a cozy fantasy. It's a little bit more edgy than a lot of cozy fantasies, a little bit more danger, a little bit more adventure, a little steamier maybe as well. But really enjoyed this. I liked the first book, but I thought the second book just really kind of blew it out of the park, and I'm really looking forward to the third and final book in that cozy fantasy series. So if you like cozy fantasy, and you enjoy kind of that classic swords and sorcery adventure as well, the Tomes and Tea series has been very, very good. The second book I know is going to be a little bit more controversial based on the reviews, but I really loved the Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands by Sarah Brooks. I really do enjoy kind of delving into that Cthulhu mythos, and this book very much touches on some of that. Is about a character who takes the Orient Express, but in this case that is actually a train that goes through something called the Wastelands, and the Wastelands is a part of the world that has just gone wrong. Living things and stuff aren't growing the way they should there or whatever. The biggest complaint I saw about this is that you're mostly on the train with the people on the train and dealing with them and their issues. The Wastelands are kind of threatening them outside the train in the background, but you're not really in the Wastelands that much. And I actually like that. I thought it was really cool that you've constantly got this like threat of this weird otherness, like just being held at bay by these walls of the train, and kind of the threat of it creeping in and like taking over the safety of the train. And so I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed the ending immensely. I just enjoyed the characters. There's a lot of really unique characters in here, and if that sounds at all interesting to you, I would highly recommend it. I just thought it was very unique and very well done, and I really enjoyed it from beginning to end. So I liked it a lot. All right, the third book that I read and really enjoyed in June is The Brides of High Hill, which is the 5th book in the Singing Hills cycle by Ningbo. I've liked all the books in the Singing Hills cycle. These are about a cleric who their job is to journey out and find stories. They're a religious order that collects stories about things to try to understand the world. And in this case, they end up, I'm not even going to try to explain it to give it away, but they end up in an interesting situation where the story they think they're collecting and the things they are doing are not necessarily what they originally thought. Everything kind of gets turned on its head. So very much enjoyed that. And I've enjoyed all those books. They're very well done. And I'm excited because I have another Ningbo book to read. I think it's like The Glass City or some City of Glass or something like that, that I'll be reading in the next month or so. All right, the fourth book I read and really enjoyed in June was Midlife Magical Awakening, which is the 10th book. I cannot believe it's 10 books in the Leveling Up series by K.F. Breene. This is a series about a woman who inherits a house, and the magic of the house finds out that she is it kind of turns her into a female gargoyle, and she is like leading this magical gargoyle army now, and she's becoming a magical force in this town. And there's a group of sorcerers that throughout the series they have kind of been trying to avoid being in conflict with, and some of that kind of comes to a head in this book. I really liked it. I thought it was very much well done. In the last book, in book 9, you kind of see about the main male lead's family. In this book, it's the main female protagonist family that we're involved with more. So it was just good to see like where she came from, her background, and then get a little bit more progress on the main storyline. So really enjoying that whole series. It's just very funny and witty, and there's a lot of unique magical creatures and just fun stuff. It's just kind of pure fun. All right, the fifth book I read and really enjoyed in June is Witch Hat 8 Layer Volume 12 by Kamomi Shirahama. This is a fantasy manga series, and it is kind of more like young adult level for reading. I feel like it's been a little transitional in the last few books, but this most recent book, Volume 12, really kind of kicked things up again, and I appreciated that. We get a lot of action, some big things happen. I felt like the story kind of picked up a little bit more, so really love that. The illustration in this manga series is absolutely phenomenal, the detail, and it's just beautiful. So if you're interested in fantasy manga series that has very beautiful drawing, I would recommend it. Lots of magic, lots of like things about friendship between the different characters and stuff like that. And then the last book I read and really enjoyed in June is Grand Tour, which is the second book in the Brass Queen series by Elizabeth Chatsworth. I actually did not know that there was going to be a follow-up to The Brass Queen, and I was so excited when I heard there was, and it did not disappoint. This is a steampunk series about a young woman who is also secretly an arms dealer. So she's a young woman in society whose father has gone missing. She's kind of trying to make it on her own. She's also secretly an arms dealer. She invents and sells weapons. And somehow, via her father, she's gotten involved in some parallel realities as well. So this is another one that's just a lot of fun. Some very funny characters in here, a lot of witty dialogue, a lot of crazy, zany situations they get into, but also still just a really unique story involving steampunk elements, parallel realities, things going on with the crown. There's Versailles is a floating city in this one, and that gets visited and taken care of, I would say. Yeah, so just really good. Sorry, I keep messing my hair. It's like really messy. We just went for a walk and it's super humid out. All right, so those are all the books I read in May and June and really enjoyed. I'm trying to decide if I think I'll go ahead and do like a quick life update. Things have been very busy for us with the house in Duluth and with work. We did just get back from spending a week and a half up there. We took time off and actually did some like vacation stuff, which was nice. But during that, we also had the contractor come out that's going to be doing the attic expansion for us. It was exciting to see that's finally getting moving. We spent a couple hours with them just talking about what we want to do, going through details and stuff like that. And this is kind of the start of the design process. They do have it put in their books that they're going to actually start the work in September, and it'll take about a month to do. And this is basically to take our attic, which is like this, and like expand one side out, which will give us like an extra 6 feet on the one side. Well, even more than that of usable space because of how it is right now. And then that will enable us to turn that attic space in kind of to a master suite with a big bedroom and ensuite bathroom and closet. Right now, what we're living in the house is basically 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. There is a small bathroom up in the attic, but because of the slant to the ceiling, it's really hard to use. You're kind of like sitting like this in the toilet. So when we were getting estimates, we did find out that this is costing quite a bit more than we thought it would cost. So we've offered to do the demo, and they're going to do the construction, and then we're going to do the finishing work. So we're kind of splitting it up, and they are working with us really nicely on it. So far, they haven't really done anything yet, so we'll see how that goes. But there's a lot of questions about, because the house is so old, like just structural integrity and things like that. But I was excited to get that going, at least get the discussion going and get, they're starting to order stuff and find out that, kind of timing for it. We do want to get it done before the winter because, your roof is going to be off the house for that time. Then we also got our microwave finally installed in the kitchen. The kitchen is almost done. We've been working on the kitchen remodel for the last couple of months. Moving along pretty quick on it. Well, I don't know. If you were up there full time, you would just get it done. But we are not up there full time, so we are not getting it done quickly. But we did get the microwave put in and then got the new fridge ordered. Unfortunately, the fridge came in and it is just a little bit too big. It's off by like maybe 1/8 of an inch. And that is because we have to slide it between the counter and there's a radiator on the wall. So we are going to have to remove the radiator in order to get the fridge into the space we want to get it into, which was a little bit disappointing because timelines are getting a little bit tight here. If we have to have the attic demoed by September, and we really want to get the kitchen finished before that. And the main things we need to do in the kitchen is we need to put kind of the casing around the cabinets, and then we need to get the backsplash put up. And we were hoping to do that in the next couple weeks, but now we're going to be spending this next weekend taking out the radiator to get the fridge in and doing all that. And we're not really sure how involved that's going to be. It looks like it should be pretty easy based on the research we've done, but we need to sit down and look at the radiator because the fridge came in right after we were leaving from vacation, and it's now sitting all hooked up in the middle of the kitchen because we just couldn't get it in, and we had to get home and we didn't have time to start futzing with it. So that was a little bit disappointing for me. I was a little depressed about it, but it's nothing devastating. We are hoping that we don't have to actually move all the cabinets down. We do have room to do that, but it would involve a lot of work. So it's hard. We did it fit based on the dimensions online, but stuff isn't always quite right when they have it online. So other than that, we had a lot of fun up there. We met my parents. They were camping up there. We did some hikes. Went to some breweries and watched fireworks in the harbor and all this stuff, and it was a lot of fun. We really enjoy it up there quite a bit, and looking forward to when we live up there full time. Anything else exciting? My son is still trying to get a job. He's working as a hockey rep, but he has a job interview tomorrow to work at a grocery store. He's been kind of running into, a lot of places want people 18 and older, so he was going to try and be a line cook because he has some culinary experience from school, and they wanted him to be over 18. And then he was going to do landscaping, and they wanted him to be over 18, and he's not. He's 17, so he's been running into that. And we told him to start looking for a job sooner, and he didn't. And so now it's almost halfway through summer and he still doesn't have a job, but he's working on it. He did get his AP test scores back, and he did really well on those. So he was just checking through colleges he wants to apply to, and he can get credit at all the colleges he wants to apply to for those classes based on his scores. So that's exciting. It's getting to be kind of an exciting time for us. He is going to start applying to colleges probably in August, September. And once he gets accepted, that's going to be a huge weight off of my shoulders, but also just pretty exciting, going into his senior year. So a lot going on. We are going to be traveling out to both Gen Con and Gamehole Con in the upcoming months. Gen Con, of course, is late July, so that's coming up pretty quick. And then Gamehole Con will be, I think, in September, October. So some travel. We haven't really been doing any vacations and trips because we've been doing all this renovation work up on the house in Duluth, and I feel like that work is never going to end. We probably have another year of it or so to do, but we are making progress. It's just never as fast as I would like. So with that, I hope you enjoyed my best books of the month, my little life update, and I hope you read a lot of wonderful books in May and June, and feel free to comment below with ones that you really love. I always like to check out what books people are loving. And I hope you have a great week ahead of you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.